Quackity's lore is some of the best lore on the server, and for a while now there hasn't actually been any. But we've just got a few hints and updates on Twitter for the next act, and well, it may just be the final act and episode. Quackity's lore has taken us on many different journeys, starting with fighting the egg and confronting Sam about Tommy's death, up until gathering members for Las Nevadas and, well, torturing Dream in prison. All of this stuff is pretty major, and you really do need to know about all of this stuff for the future of the storylines, especially with torturing Dream in prison. That is going to be massive in the future, because obviously when Dream breaks out, he's going to have something against Quackity, because, you know, torturing isn't the nicest thing ever, so yeah, I would have something against Quackity as well. Now, the first hint for this lore is a tweet on Quackity 4K, and it says soon with a smiley face and a picture. This picture is actually pretty interesting, especially when you break it down and have a look into it further. To start off, it says nothing left in the middle, and there's no dates or anything like that on the picture. It's kind of just there until you get this picture and put it into Photoshop, you know, do some hacker things, up the contrast, up the brightness and all that, and you can clearly see there's some Minecraft leaves around the whole thing. There's what looks like to be a border, maybe out of obsidian, which is obviously hinting onto something else, and this is obviously a screenshot from Minecraft. It's an in-game screenshot, and I mean, when I've said a border of obsidian or something, you're obviously going to assume that this may just be L'Manberg, and that kind of relates to the nothing left part. L'Manberg is literally a massive crater now, and it's been overgrown by fill, and it's kind of just been left to just age. There is nothing happening at L'Manberg now, and well, we may get some updates in this lore. To further prove that this could be L'Manberg is the leaves around this kind of border and the vines hanging off of the sides. You can kind of see some craters in the bottom. It does look like what L'Manberg would look like overhead. And I'm going to assume that a massive part of this is going to have to do with Wilbur, because if you do remember in one of the previous lore streams that Quackity had done, the ending contained Wilbur and Quackity meeting up at Las Nevadas and talking. So maybe this is a hint to them talking more, and maybe Wilbur discussing his plans, what he's going to be doing with his burger van outside of Las Nevadas. And remember that Wilbur told Rambo to place a bunch of TNT under Las Nevadas, so maybe we will see something happen with that. But also, a while back in one of the other lore streams, we saw a clip of Wilbur and Quackity talking, but from the L'Manberg days, like a couple years ago at this rate. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see more in the past shots and a bit of a throwback to the old days. Moving on, we got another tweet at literally the same time on his other account, which is for his merchandise and clothing. This is Planet Doug, and the tweet says the exact same thing, soon with a smiley face, and it has a picture of playing cards. Now, what I'm assuming and what we kind of know is that he's going to be selling these playing cards as a merchandise kind of drop, and I'd assume that this drop is going to happen at the same time the lore stream happens, or just at the end of the stream. And from the looks of it, they're pretty cool. I love when YouTubers go out their way to make something which is completely different to the usual like t-shirt with a name on it. And speaking of that, I may have some clothing stuff coming out soon at the start of next year, just saying. Anyways, there's not much to analyze in this picture or anything, so we're gonna quickly move on. And this one is really big. So basically, Quackity has a private account, which means only certain people can follow the account. And he tweeted on there a picture saying Chapter 1 Lessons. Now, if you didn't know, all these lore streams are kind of split up into chapters, showing off different things, and yeah, it's a cool way to do it. And Chapter 1 Lessons is actually a massive hint to something. Now, if you remember a while ago, Rambo did a lore stream where throughout the stream, random lessons would pop up on the screen. And well, if this is linking to that, that means there's going to be some stuff about Rambo in this, which is pretty big, because Rambo's lore is pretty kind of advanced and in-depth. I remember him saying a while ago that he has a massive Google document of just stuff to do with his character, and I mean, if we're going to learn more about his character, then that's going to be great. But I've also seen some people say that this isn't linked to Rambo, and it's actually linked to Wilbur, which also backs up the other stuff that I've said previously about L'Manberg, and maybe they're having a bigger chat. People have mentioned that Wilbur told Quackity in the Manberg era about these lessons and things that he needs to learn to be a better leader and stuff like that. And well, that kind of backs up the whole Manberg thing, it backs up the first teaser and more. So I'm kind of leading more towards Wilbur being involved in some sort of way. But either way, if it's Rambo or Wilbur, it's going to be great and I can't complain. We then got some more images of the new merchandise, which is the playing cards from Planet Duck. They look really sick, and yeah, it's just cool. But if we're moving on to one of the bigger hints and things like that, Quackity tweeted out on November 20th, which was yesterday from when I'm recording, saying the final act, 11/27/21, with a playing card in a hand. Now either he's selling that playing card, a part of the other stuff that we've seen, or he's selling the hand, and that's just a bit weird. But this gives us a date on when this drop is going to be happening, and also when this lore stream is going to be happening. And it mentions saying the final act. Now, does this mean it's his final ever lore stream? Probably not. It's just the ending of this chapter and this kind of season in a way.
On a bunch of lore stuff, which is really fun. It's very nice to work on that. I have a lot of fun doing it. I don't know, I've just been working a lot recently. For anyone who doesn't know, lore is happening the 27th of November. Everyone clip that and fucking show it to everyone. Lore is the 27th of November.
And this stream's going to be massive. We've had so many teasers to things like Lemannberg and more, but you know what else is massive? Illegal items on the Dream SMP. I made a video about all of them last week. I highly recommend you check it out.